quantum superposition. Down the road, planets are formed, and on some planets there is water. And water is 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen atom. And through the hydrogen bonds in water, something weird is happening. Hydrogen does this weird thing with quantum superposition. And if you've ever looked at clouds, or the ripples in water, or snowflakes, you'll see that there is some majestic order that seems to be organizing water. When you look at all the clouds in the sky, they don't look disorganized. They don't look like random chaos. They look like there's some sort of shape or intention, like an artist painted them. And when you look at snowflakes, there's this immaculate beauty to every snowflake, but where does it come from? Where does that order come from? What is quantum superposition? What does it mean? It means that impossible things can happen. Impossibly improbable things can happen. And the most probable thing is that everything devolves into a smear of chaos. That things will get mixed up, tossed around, it'll just become a big smear. But what quantum superposition allows to happen is the most improbable thing. Imagine being blindfolded and asked to run through a forest, and you can watch our first video from the future, We Are From the Future, and see an example of this. If you were asked to run through that forest without hitting a tree blindfolded, there is a potential path you could take where you don't strike a tree. But the likelihood of you taking that path is so small that it's extremely unlikely you would get through that forest. If you were to go into a state of quantum superposition, you would witness your body become thousands of you, or hundreds of thousands of you, or millions of you, and all of those potential yous run through that forest, and then the one of you that makes it all the way through the forest could be witnessed, could be observed. And if that one of you is observed, it eliminates all the other yous, and that was the only you that started at the beginning of the forest. It's like that observer just went and pushed your outcome back through time and gave you this incredibly idealistic outcome, this miraculous outcome of being able to run through the forest without striking a tree. That is the magic of quantum superposition. But it doesn't just stop there, because water, with its hydrogen bonds, opens the doorway for that magic to happen at ambient temperatures. Water brings these hydrogen bonds into a state where in ambient temperatures, something amazing can happen right here. And that's where the snowflakes come from, and that's where the clouds come from. The cloud formations, the amazing, majestic beauty of snowflakes are all as if they're being designed from some higher dimension. And that's what we're talking about here, is that just like gravity can leak into our universe from a higher dimension, it seems that quantum superposition opens the doorway for some higher state of order to leak into our universe from a higher dimension. That something is able to come in and, using that mysterious quality of quantum superposition, stack the deck, manipulate our universe in a way that highly improbable outcomes happen. The highly improbable outcome of a beautiful snowflake or a perfectly majestic sky full of clouds. But then another really highly improbable outcome happened, which is DNA. If you look at a DNA molecule, it is incredibly well organized. It is beautiful. And so you have this amazing thing like a snowflake that has come out of water, which is a giant amplifier of quantum superposition, because DNA, every corner of DNA is another hydrogen bond. So instead of just 2 hydrogen bonds, which water carries with it, now you have this structure full of hydrogen bonds. And now this structure has amazing quantum abilities. And through those quantum abilities, DNA seems to have created all that we see with life. But what is life? Where is this order coming from? It could be said that the order is seeping in through the quantum superposition that DNA allows for. There's a whole new arena of study called quantum biology, which is looking at how quantum effects seem to be prevalent in life. And if you look at the beauty of life and all the amazing structure of life, it is right in alignment with that weird power, the quantum superposition, that opens the doorway and allows to enter into our universe. Now, the ancient Chinese knew about this order, and they called it Li. And Li's direct translation means the markings in jade. And what Li is described as by these ancient Chinese philosophers is that you can see the order in clouds, you can see the order in how water flows, you can see it in the fiber and muscle or the grain in wood, that there is some inexplicable order to all of these things that we can see is there, but our brains can't comprehend. We can't calculate how the grain and wood would arise. We can't calculate how those clouds would form, but we do see that there is great order to them. And this is our same problem as we try to comprehend science and live our lives by science.